What is up, guys? Wraith here, Gray Bearded Gaming Society, and we have tacked on level 24. Finally, we and part of me is tempted to go after this guy again just to see if we can take him, even though I know what happens when you kill him. But we have tacked on level 24. We've already modified our spell bar a little bit, and I think what we're gonna do before we get too far into serious action is I think we're going to kind of experiment with our new spell block and just kind of see. I think we might just kind of work on just like a hair of kind of efficiencies with it, if that makes sense, just to kind of see. Because like right now, what I loaded out right now was here's our brand new poison dot and venom bolt, our previous venom dot tainted breath, and then our highest disease dot, which was affliction. I need to pay attention where I'm going, or I'm going to run right into stuff that's going to give me a hard time. Won't be able to test much if I accidentally train myself. Now, I'm pretty sure that a lot of the stuff out here is probably going to be green to me now, but it should still give experience. Obviously, we'll be careful on the evil eyes. I don't think they'll be a very good test, just because of what they are. There's a high chance to just get mezzed, charmed, etc. But I mean, there were some pretty good griffins around here. We were able to kill everything pretty well even before. But I'm curious now about the efficiency. And one of the other things, of course, you know, like I mentioned when I made this guy, is didn't really have a classic shaman. So I haven't really done a whole lot of the management, so to speak, of keeping regeneration on myself versus the damage I'm doing versus, you know, using cannibalize. So we are at full mana. Let's just make sure to keep everything on the up and up here. Let's do this. We're going to go ahead and make sure we keep sowing ourselves. So if things do go sideways, we can still bail out. So we're going to do a little bit of this right here. We're going to do so that these things go bad. We're going to go ahead and get our regen rolling, which would be kind of expensive for us at first, I believe. Yeah, it's about a whole bar mana-ish. We're going to fizzle our spell a bunch. But with the regen rolling and being a troll, like that'll be the other thing I think that should help us quite a bit. I mean, we get, you know, 3 or 4 pops of this. All right, now let's find us a victim. Now, you know what? Well, this guy's just here, so we're actually just going to pull him. So we're going to go ahead and hit it with our disease dot. We're going to pull him up the wall. We're going to stay nice and safe, just kind of like what we were doing before. I mean, like I said, some of this is just about kind of testing the efficiency and the combination of how things go. We're going to go with a root. If I'm not mistaken, we should be able to stack our new poison and our old poison. Aha! And that should be a fully loaded, dotted up dog. Now, the other trick we should be able to do is we should be able to canalize a couple of times. And I think the trick here is going to be like what's kind of that magic number, right? So like we pull everything off. So like we're down to kind of even health and mana. We can sit down in med. We got our regen rolling. Plus we're a troll, so we should have pretty hefty health regen going on, I think, right now. And then I think if we can keep with the canni, I think, you know, staying at like that 50 to 60 mark, I think, will be like super safe when we're doing stuff on our own. I mean, obviously, I think when we experiment with larger or more dangerous targets, we'll obviously have to keep kind of tabs on things. I was really, really tempted to try to take a bite out of the little dude by the dock on the way in and kind of talked myself out of it. So there we go. So our root wore off and our two big dots worn off. So I think we'll just recast our new biggest dot. Kablow. And munch, 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 munch. There we go. All right. So I think this guy should have been like that dark bluish thing right before we leveled. So yeah, so we'll still get experience. But there we go. So we can see like that is actually substantially faster. I'm not even going to pick that up. That's just going to weigh us down. That was a substantially faster kill. And again, you know, get the health, kablow, keep the mana kind of high, keep the regen rolling, and again, just when you're sitting down, just the troll regen plus that regen should kind of do us very, very well. But I think our big stick here is, like I said, with our affliction, we're doing like 75 mana overall, but it doesn't do a ton of damage, but it sticks around for quite a while, right? As opposed to our new, excuse me, I got it backwards. That's our old dot, and this is our new dot. So our new dot, Envenomed Breath, is 100 mana, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this spell does somewhere in the neighborhood of like 250 damage total, where Affliction only does about half of that. So just the efficiency alone on the poison dot should be pretty hefty in order to keep them stacking. So I think that'll be kind of our efficiency thing. We use Affliction for the longer term, and because I don't think stacking Sicken at the same time really. Sicken does so little damage at this point that it really does anything other than just prevent kind of a base health regen. And maybe in some situations we might use it, but the other thing that we did do, of course, is we got our Frost Strikes. We have a new, big, stronger nuke, and haven't actually used it yet, but I believe it's actually a pretty hefty blast. And I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do something ridiculous. All right. So these guys, obviously, they have the chance to drop. We are just going to open right up with our biggest possible and try to put some damage on this bad boy and hope that we're not going to pay for this with our lives. Owie. Alright, so he is dotted up. Nope, we don't want to do that. I forgot that I changed it up to regen, not the heal. So we got the Tash on. He's taking a pretty good hunk of damage. Let's see if we don't... No, don't fizzle to death. We're going to do like this. Blow! There we go. Now we got to deal with the little pet. Oh, give me a break. You know what? Move my spells around. Move my spells around. I thought that was going to be slow for a second, but that's alright. We will be just fine, I think, dealing with the pet. I think we will figure out what his master had. But there we go. We soloed our first Evil Eye. And we'll slowly work this guy down. And basically, if the eyeball's not there in a few seconds, we'll know that it was all for naught. But maybe we get super lucky. Maybe it's another Polished Bone Bracer upgrade for us. But yeah, the new nuke was quite nice here. I'm trying to scroll up fast enough. I mean, we nuked him for 137 after we fizzled a handful of times. If not for all the fizzles, I think we'd actually be in much better shape mana-wise. But like I said, we'll handle the little pet here. I think we're actually slowly gaining hit points with the regen of that. Hey, plus we got more experience. Way to go. So there we go. And at least we got a little bit of coin. But so there we go, guys. I think we'll, you know, I said in the world of efficiency, I think that'll be a good combination for us. We'll be kind of stacking those dots. I think kind of the way that we have it done, and some of it I think too. Like also it'll be the challenge of the targets, right, that we're facing off against, because obviously, you know, we don't want to go totally ham against something that's just really easy. And if it's something that's going to be very, very hard, it's do we want to stack all three all the time? Do we want to go for more efficiency and expect a long drawn out fight? We'll just kind of have to kind of see how it goes. I will say chances are high that I'm at least going to take a swing at the guy at the die. Reginald, I think. Is it Sir Reginald? I forgot his name already. But the chances are high we're going to take a swing at that guy over there. But we're definitely going to do some practice. We're going to get used to having our new spells, work on kind of the balance. Like I said, that time, we knew the Evil Eyes were dangerous. You know, we're dealing with kind of a 2-on-1 situation because most of the time they're going to have a pet and nuke pretty hard. But either way, I think it was, you know, worthwhile. Then we did, again, we held our own. We did a pretty good job. So I'm going to step away for a few minutes so everybody's not just sitting here watching me do health and mana. But we'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll check on, see what kind of other action that we can get into. Oh, my goodness. Do we have a bard? Yeah. Wasn't really paying attention what happened, and then suddenly huge train. Alrighty then. So we got I don't know why that bard would bring that stuff up here. That's how you get a bad reputation as a bard, homie. Just saying. But we'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Stick around. Alright guys, so as you can see from some of the footage there, just kind of practicing a little bit, kind of getting kind of a cadence, kind of rhythm, or at least soloing, right? Because I know this will be a lot different when trying to group. Obviously, different buffs and things like that will kind of change, how all this goes. But I think a good test for all of these bold new skills is standing right in front of us. So we did okay against Grun last time. And by okay, I mean we were able to land some stuff on him. We just weren't able to do enough damage. So I'm curious if with our newfound powers, if we're going to be able to get something done. Now what we are going to do is I think for now, I'll take the nuke off and put the extra dot on, because I really don't think we're going to try to nuke this big guy. We just won't have enough effect on it. Even with the nuke that we have, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. But I think the trick here is can we manage the mana pool? Can we balance it out? Can we handle this guy? So let's get stupid. I'm going to try to root him right in place. And let's start stacking up some dots here and see how we do with it. Well, that was quick. Even with the tiniest one we have, immediately breaks. Sit still for a second. Let's at least get the dots on you. Then you can break. Alright. Again, that was actually one of the problems we had last time, is he was coming out of the roots so incredibly fast that we were burning most of our mana pool off just trying to keep him rooted in place. Even though so far, I mean, we're landing our dots, really well. We haven't had to resist yet. Now that I've said that, I'm probably doomed for life. But we actually do have the Mallow line of spells. We've never actually used it, at least not soloing. I mean, it is kind of an expensive spell. Overall, it's not like ridiculously cheap or anything. So it's not one that we can kind of sit out there and spam. But yes, this is the same problem we had last time. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the rate at which this guy is breaking through roots is really ridiculous here. I mean, we're casting the spell that only takes, a second or two to cast, and he was popping consistently right through that. But we are dealing at least some damage to him this time around. We've already got him quite a bit farther down than we did last time all the way around. Now, I think with battles like this, and this is what I was kind of talking about earlier too, is we have to be even more efficient. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, the root thing is going to be what gets us, because, I mean, root, while not incredibly expensive, I mean, every time we blast that thing off, it's 30 mana. I think we've already spent like 150 mana worth of just rooting this guy, which is more than it costs to do our newest, biggest dot. Gonna do that. And, of course, now we're falling behind in the mana game because we're rooting so entirely much. So we're going to pull back on stacking the dots, I think. Yeah, it's the same problem we had last time. I mean, we are definitely doing substantially more damage. We have him way further down than we did last time. I mean, way further. Yeah, I mean, we can't even literally sit down, back up to sit down to med before he's just breaking the roots just non-stop. It's kind of really ridiculous pace, to be kind of honest with you. But even so, like I said, we've still managed to do just a ton more damage than we did last time. I don't think we even got him down to the T last time. But it's the roots, like I said, that's killing us. We've already tried to root him so many times. We've gone through a couple hundred mana just trying to do that. And now, of course, we're so far down on the mana food chain, even with our cannibalization here, we are not going to be able to keep our dots stacked up like we would hope, because we'll just run out of mana. Again, compared to the rate that he's breaking root, we've had to root so many times. Just to be safe, we've got to make sure we keep enough mana in the tank to be able to do that. Because he's just getting through the mana pool too fast. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not about to surrender here either. I really want to see. I think it's a great challenge for us. It's obviously not an easy one. We're going to get down to the stretch here and really have to balance it out. But as you can see from some of the other stuff that I kind of showed kind of in my little mini montage there, I think that'll be one of the strengths, really, of the cannibalization thing, because we go down pretty low. Again, we are a troll. We are the regen. The regen, I think, is 5 hit points a tick, plus as a troll. I think when I'm sitting down, I think I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of, I think my regen's like a 5 or 6, I think. I've never actually timed it out. There's a table somewhere probably on the wiki that says how good a trollz regen is. It is pretty stout. There's no doubt about that. And we have done substantially more damage this guy this time around, so we're going to be in a pretty good spot. We're going to go ahead and blast off the big dot. Because he is taking so much damage now that his run speed is slowing way down, so we can easily escape now if we need to. But yeah, there we go, the balancing act. I mean, yes, we're kind of low on hit points, so to speak. We've kept the mana pool up, we've kept the dots going, and even you've seen how many times I had to root this guy. The strength of our new spell selection is really showing itself off there. And again, I know to some people, again, it's old hat. I never really did the shaman and classic. At least, never got him this far, so never really had to get that. So pretty stoked. But where we are now, so I mean, basically, we're a big shaman now. We get to play big shaman games. We've got canni, we've got more dots. We can, we could root rot before, but now we're way more efficient at it. So pretty happy about that. So of course we've killed Brune. All that for 6 gold. And of course now, somewhere within a few minutes, I believe his brother should spawn, or potentially his father. So either Drune or Prune. And then, but either way, we're going to get out of the area. But a pretty successful night. I mean, it really was, so we got our level. We got some practice and we got some killing, and we didn't get crazy far into our level, but I mean, not bad. I mean, we padded it up by about 20%, which we will take. And of course, this guy, we got him last time we passed through. We decided to met up to get it all the way back to full and come back, try him again. So either way, like I said, a very successful night. I will take it. It was a good time, and again, a lot of it, just some of that, just experimentation, right? One of the things, of course, with the regen balancing act, I guess it'll take a little while to get used to. Is obviously the bigger you are, the longer it lasts. Because I think right now it's only lasting for 7 or 8 minutes. I'd have to wiki it, but I think it's about 7 or 8 minutes. So I mean, got 2 to 3 of those for every one round of so to speak, things like that. So I mean, again, it should be fun. It should keep us busy, which I like. But having said all that, like always, guys, if you like what we're doing, please don't forget to like, comment, maybe subscribe. I mean, leave comments down below. We'd love to hear from you guys, especially if you got some ideas for some adventures or some spots you think we could go, especially now that we've got a little bit more of an arsenal up our sleeve. Maybe we could sneak out kind of a couple cool camps. We shall see. We are 24. We have our new spells. We've padded our level. At some point, we'll probably jump back across the world just to maybe bank a little bit, kind of sell, and at some point maybe try these common lands to see if we can sell kind of the few items that we got maybe to another person. But having said all of that, we are going to call it a good night. With that, as always, guys, stay safe, stay distant, stay in EverQuest, and we'll see you guys next time. Night, guys.